Welcome back to my channel. So it's me Agna. So today I'm going to do a baddie inspired makeup look. It's just something that makes you look put together and confident. So I'm starting off with Mars gripping primer. This one's really sticky, so it holds everything in place, especially good if you want your makeup to last. Then I'm going with my e.l.f. Halo Glow tint. This just gives you a glow underneath the foundation, not shimmery, just healthy looking skin. Then I'm blending with my beauty sponge to get that glowy dewy base for my makeup look. After that, I'm going to use my foundation. I'm using the e.l.f. Satin Finish Foundation. This one's perfect for a baddie makeup look because it makes my skin super smooth and dewy. Even like it's not too matte to the point where it's look dry, but also not super dewy. It's right in the middle, which I love. And I'm putting the foundation all over my face and blending it out with a beauty sponge. Using a sponge really helps press into my skin and makes it look more natural instead of just sitting on the top. This foundation has a medium coverage, which is great because I can still see my some of the skin underneath. And after that, I'm going with my Maybelline concealer in the shade Cafe. So first I apply it under my eyes, mainly in the inner corners and bit in the outer edge. Then I do a little down the bridge of my nose, and it's just a thin line, not too thick. And around my lips, especially on the sides, I use a small amount of concealer to cancel out any darkness or shadow. I also apply around my brows underneath to sharpen the arc, and little on the top if you want that cleaner shape. I blend that out gently so it doesn't look too obvious, but it definitely make the brows pop. And lastly, I do a bit above the jawline. That step is so underrated. It helps you give that snatched look, everything in place it blended. Just make sure to blend it upwards and into a cheeks area so it's seamless. Once I place it everywhere, I let it sit for a few seconds to get that bit more coverage. Then I blend everything out with a damp sponge or a small brush depending on the area. And yeah, that gives such a clean, bright, pulled up together base before and even get into the contour part. Alright, moving on to contour, I'm using the e.l.f. cream contour and I'm keeping it soft but snatched. Nothing too harsh but just enough to shape the face. I start with my cheekbones. I place it in above the hollow, not right into it. That way when I blend it out, it lifts the face instead of dragging it down. It's a small trick but it makes such a big difference. Now for the nose, I don't use a brush here. I literally just use my fingers because it blends so much better and looks more natural that way. I apply a little bit of contour both sides of my nose, drawing two soft lines. Then I use a ring finger or a pinky finger to gently tap and blend it out. Not swiping, just tapping and softening the edges. For the blush, I am keeping it really minimal today. Just a soft little flush, nothing too bold. I am using a cream blush and tapping a little bit right above the place I place my contour. Not too close to the center of my cheeks, more on the outer part. After that, I'm setting everything in place with the Mars setting powder. I'm not baking or doing anything too dramatic, just slightly setting the areas that tend to crease or get oily. So I'm pressing the powder under my eyes first, that's where the concealer usually creases. So I make sure to smooth it out with the sponge first, then set it right away. I use a puff or a sponge, then something that presses a product instead of brushing it away. After that, I'm going with my eyeshadow. I'm just using it two dark brown shades. First, I'm taking a lighter brown and blending into my creases, nothing too precise. After that, I'm taking the another brown shade and putting it the outer corner. And after that, I'm adding some brown shades under my eyes to get that more defined look. And I'm going with my eyeliner. I'm just doing a slight wing, nothing too bold. I start off with the outer corner and just flick it out a little. And after that, I'm using the Mars mascara to add the depth to my lashes. And after that, I'm using the false lashes. I'm going for the something wispy and lifted, not too thick or dramatic, just enough to open up my eyes and give that baddie vibe without covering any eyeshadows. And after that, I'm going with my lip liner. It's a dark brown liner. It's from Swiss Beauty in the shade Dark Chocolate. I like to fill in corners to a bit so it blends better with the lipstick and it gives that a soft ombre effect without even trying too hard. Then I'm going with the Fair Beauty matte lipstick. This formula is so smooth and doesn't dry out my lips, which I love. I'm just applying right in the center and blending into my liner with my finger and makes it look more seamless and blurred. After that, now I'm topping off with the Glam Beauty lip gloss, and this is honestly my favorite part. I'm just dabbing a little around my center of my lips and not too much, just enough to add that juicy shine. It smells right in the lipstick and gives that a plum soft look without leaving sticky. And for the last step, I'm adding just a bit of highlighter on the nose and inner corners of my eyes. I'm using a small amount and tiny bit right on the bridge of my nose and little dot on the tip, and it gives it a smooth, glowy button nose without being too blinding. Then I'm taking the same highlighter on the inner corners of my eyes, then just brightens everything in place. And that's the final look. Super simple, soft baddie vibes, clean base and slight wing. If you liked it, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.